Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Power of Fight. This is my post-Congress edition. Now, I just want to say I'm sorry for taking so long to post this video. It's been quite a hectic last few weeks for me, or last month for me. And I really want to, put the time into to do a proper video. I don't know if this will be proper or not, but I'm going to try to, share my screen, show some pictures. I did post my recent interviews on this channel as well. If you go down through the posts, like scroll down the main page, you'll see I have my Jewish interview for the Arizona Jewish newspaper, my NBC interview, and I believe I put my ABC interview there as well. But I will be going through some of that stuff with you guys today. I'll be telling you about my time in DC, which was, I mean, amazing. It was better than I ever even imagined. And man, this light overhead's driving me crazy, but whatever, we'll just roll with it because it's taking me too long to get out. First off, before I get into anything, I want to say two things. First thing is my health is doing awesome. My blood tests are looking great. My liver levels, which I still haven't posted some of those videos. So no, I apologize, everyone, because this channel, like I said from the beginning, is not in chronological order. So I'm doing this video. I'm also going to go back and post some of my other ones when I'm still going through it, like when my liver levels were raising. But as of today, my liver levels look extremely normal. My scans, each of my MRI scans look fabulous. There's nothing, no new tumor growth. If I move over, that's a little better. No new tumor growth. I'm feeling good. The doctor, I'm still at my same dose of immunotherapy, but chemotherapy has been long in the past now. So yeah, everything's going good health standpoint. I'm just been busy lately, trying to interview for jobs, working on the side, and really just trying to make the most out of my time before I really enter back to my profession, which that's what I'm shooting for right now. So that's kind of why I've been away from this for a little bit, just because only so many hours in a day, and it kind of got me mentally prepared to make these, especially this one talking about the Congress. So that being said, before I get into it one more time, I just want to say I'm a big Jets fan. Jets won today, but the only reason I bring that up, because I'm not making this a Jets show at all, is just because Aaron Rodgers. If there's something that my channel preaches, the power of fight. I mean, for him to go down, 4 plays in this year, which was crushing, killed me. I was watching with my son, and he looked over. He goes, "Dad, what's wrong?" I'm like, buddy, you don't understand. You don't understand. But today he was, after I forget how many days after, his Achilles injury, which he needed surgery on it. He was walking the sidelines, had a headset on. I mean, this guy is the epitome of a fighter. This guy's awesome. I mean, no one's come back from a surgery this quickly. And just, his personality, his attitude, that he was determined to, fight and determined to get better. I'm confident he'll be back this season. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about that. So that's why I'm wearing the my Aaron Rodgers shirt today. I actually did watch a game earlier with two Eagles fans, and it was pretty sweet to see the Jets upset them. But that being said, let me get into my lobby day. So again, it was one of the most probably the coolest experiences of my life. It was extremely successful. I not only did I get to engage with congressmen front and center, but I did even have a senator specifically request to meet me. Actually, Senator Chris Cinema. But I will get into all that. So let me just start sharing some. See if I can do this and share some content from when I was in DC. Now, I didn't. I wish so. I've never been one that pulls out my phone everywhere and documents everything. I've always been of the mindset I want to experience it, without technology. I have a good memory. I can, other people can video it, but I want to experience it. So I didn't, like go live like I wanted to. Frankly, I don't know how to go live. I'll have to learn that because I want to, add more to this channel. But I I did a couple videos, which I'm going to go through now, but it's not in the level that I would like, but I did take some pictures and I'll kind of go through that. So I'm going to share my screen now and let's hope this is successful. All right, so let's see. There we go. All right. I'm going to blow this up. There we go. All right, guys. So let's see. This is when I first got to DC. So now I flew in, I left Arizona, and I got into DC in evening time. It was right after everyone ate. So I actually, well, let me play the video. This is me checking into my hotel. Here I am in my hotel for lobby day, staying at the Grand Hyatt. Super excited. Yeah, it's fun. It's gonna be interesting because there's a 3 hour time difference, and I'm not tired. Like I wake up super early tomorrow, but yeah, I'm gonna go get my room now. Right over there. It's nice hotel. All right, guys. Talk to you later. There we go. So here I am in let me pause that. So yeah, that was when I checked into my hotel. It was beautiful. I mean, Grand Hyatt Regency in Washington D.C. You can't ask for too much more than that. So it was a beautiful hotel. Like I said, I left Arizona. I got there like around in the evening. It was a 3 hour time difference, so I wasn't really tired, but it was nice because I had to get up early the next morning and I wanted to just get tons of rest, and I did. So what after this, I actually was going to get something to eat, and then one of my awesome team members for the American Cancer Society, Amy, she was like, "Hey, Danny, you want to go grab a bite at the Capitol Grill?" So we went to the Capitol Grill right across the street. It was really cool. We had a good meal, and then I headed back to the room. And then as soon as I went there, I looked at my speech, my presentation a little bit. I really want to craft it. I want to have everything nailed down, like with my ask, which I'll talk about as well. And when I say ask, it's what we're asking Congress to either co-sponsor the bills to uh, pass. So yeah, so that was that. So the next morning we go down to the banquet hall. We had this great breakfast, and the banquet hall is loaded with American Cancer Society members, ACS Cancer Action Network. That's a lobbying arm of the American Cancer Society. But this whole thing, they're like, you know, two of the same thing. They work side by side. One is the main organization, American Cancer Society, and the other one is American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network, which is a lobbying arm. So, that being said, I had a great breakfast, and then the next day during breakfast, they do like these speeches. They'll have certain senators come and speak. They'll have the CEO come and speak of the American Cancer Society. I have a great story to share about that. But let's move on because I'll have a quick little video here to share as well. So this is one of my teammates, Penny, and this is just us at the. Let me blow this up. This is us in the morning after breakfast, and this, when they're introducing everyone. Look at how big the room is. There's Brian Hummel, that's our area director. He's great in Arizona. Yeah, so if you could just see, it's a packed room. So it was really, really cool. Let me see if I can. I don't know why I can't see my mouse. I'm trying to go over. It's like I'm stuck on the bottom, but I wonder if I could just click over. Okay, there we go. Okay. Oh, but then it's going completely out of whack. Sorry, guys, technical difficulties. All right, here we go. Next one. So one of the people who spoke was Senator Chuck Schumer. Senator Chuck Schumer, he's I don't get into anything political because that's not what I'm here for. He's a guy who I admire personally because he is a cancer survivor. I mean, 2 times, and he powered through while he was going through cancer. You can see him, still addressing, in his committees and talking to members of Congress and really, doing the job. Like you can see him some videos wearing a do rag when he's going through chemotherapy. So he's really a real inspirational man to meet. I mean, he's Jewish as well. I am, I'm Jewish. I'm very proud of that. I'll actually show you an article of the Jewish newspaper that I was in, and it's also on my channel as well. But that's Chuck Schumer, really cool, really funny guy. We had a very brief interaction, but his speech was hilarious, and even talking to him, he made a couple quick barbs and quips, which is cool. It's fun to see the humanity and in all of these people that I got to meet. It wasn't anything political. It's just getting to know them human to human, and the great thing is talking about cancer. You're talking about something that goes across the political spectrum. Everyone's lives has been touched by it. So that was me meeting Chuck Schumer. Oh, this is just a funny little thing. This is just part of my team. Every year at the American Cancer Society, the lobby day, they have a can opener event where they have a DJ and everyone, takes silly pictures and dance. And that was just a lot of fun. It was cool just like hanging out with my team and just dancing and, enjoying the night. So it was really cool. It was the day before we went out to Capitol Hill. So it was kind of just a way to, let your hair down and dance, have fun, get to mingle with everyone. So it was a lot of fun. Now, here's another video of me. Let's play this. I don't know exactly when this was. Here we are, Washington on the metro. Oh, yeah. We are in the Capitol Hill right now for Speaker Mark Kelly, which I will be telling my story. So I'm very excited. Here we go. All right. I'll catch you guys later. All right, guys. So, let me go back. Okay, hold on. How do I get back here? Let's see. Let me shrink that again. All right. So, yeah, that was super cool. With my team, how it works is so there's 50 states, of course. Each state has a team. This is my team is Arizona. So it was a blast, and I was excited to really go, explore DC together. And I've been to DC many times. Um, not very recently though, because the last time I was there, I was actually with my dad, and my dad died in 2008. So I thought it was a lot quicker, but it wasn't. But so it was nice to be back in the city. I always loved DC. I didn't have any time to go to like the museums or anything, but I plan to be back soon. It's not too far from like my sister lives in New York, so if I go back and visit, I could easily go there. So moving on, here's just a video of me in the underground. Real quick, I'll do that. So let me explain the blue shirt guy thing, guys. Let me stop sharing this for a second. So the blue shirt, what's that is everyone in the American Cancer Society, ACS can, we all wear blue shirts. So basically, there's like a sea of blue coming into Capitol. Now, I would say a sea of blue storming the Capitol, but I can't say that anymore because we all know what happened the last time Storm the Capitol happened. So I'm going to be quiet on that one. But yeah, so really, we come in a sea of blue, and it's really cool. And yeah, that was fun. So let me go back and reshare my screen. All right, so I think it was. All right, so let's go to the next one. So this is my team. These guys are awesome. It's rare when you get a team that everyone's in sync, that everyone really, enjoys each other's companies, and there's no awkward person in it. And that's how we were. Like we were like a tight knit group, and we really just kind of thrived and moved through it. And it was really fun. And this is like who I spent the majority of the time with, and which is funny is they call me the weapon when they have to talk to a congressman or something, who can even be someone who's a little hard to get to. I come and I tell my story because my story is crazy. I mean, you guys all know my story. I lost my grandmother to cancer when I was 7. I lost my father cancer, prostate cancer when I was 26. My mom, my aunt, to cancer when I was 30. My mom to pancreatic cancer the day before I went for major brain surgery. And then, of course, one of my sisters had breast cancer with the HERS2 mutation. So, and she, went through a roughest period as well. So cancer, has ravaged my life. So that's why I can really go in there and speak to it in depth because I've faced cancer in every situation. The gravity it has played on my life is huge. So moving on. Now this is me standing in front of the Capitol building, of course. Not too much to explain there. It was really cool, just having a freedom to walk around and go places. I mean, oh, okay. So here's something cool. Now, punch me in the face because I forgot this guy's name. But a little quick story. So this guy was John Lewis's top aide. If you're not familiar with John Lewis, he was an incredible congressman for years, was on the front line with Martin Luther King, the civil rights. So just to be able to talk to him and pick his brain for a little was really cool. I was excited to get a picture with him. Now, this is me in AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. So, funny story, we're actually from the same area in New York. I grew up in Westchester County in Sleepy Hollow, Tarrytown. She grew up in Yorktown Heights. So, and that's like one of the towns over, you know. I remember playing them in golf. I'm pretty sure I beat the guy in golf, but I remember, yeah, we played them in sports. And, but yeah, so it was funny because we really just like instantly clicked, hit it off just because of the background that we share. She knew like the same ice cream parlor. I mean, she's a little bit younger than I am, but she knew my town, and you know, I know her town. So it was really cool, you know. And great thing is you know, IOC. She's like, you know, I'm on board with everything you guys are doing. So it was just a very pleasant interaction with her. And all my interactions with all the lawmakers was very positive, very cool. You know, I'm not here to slam anyone. Even if they didn't vote for you know the passage. I'll tell you some funny stories in a little bit. They were still you know decent human beings from what seemed like on my end. Now, this is cool. So this was actually the members and staff and business entrance. So most people don't get to use this, but I was able to go through because at this time, this was when Senator Sinema privately asked to speak with me, and which is really cool because my team actually already presented to her aides, and then she asked to do a face-to-face with me, and we got to go on the Capitol steps, and I'll show you some pictures of that. But this is the entrance I got to use to go into the Senate, and the Senate building is beautiful. House of Representatives, it's just not up to par as the Senate. The Senate is sprawling, beautiful marble floors, gorgeous, you know, busts and statues. It's beautiful. The Senate, yeah, and House, but it was still cool. So here is me and Senator Ted Cruz. I was able to quickly grab him before he was when he was heading out of the Capitol. Very pleasant interaction with him. And then here's me with John Ossoff. You know, when I was entering in to go speak to Senator Sinema, I had the chance to catch up with John and with Senator Ossoff, and he's really nice guy. You know, another fellow member of the tribe, Jewish. But yeah, you know, the cool thing is you know, it was Rosh Hashanah when I was there, so you know, we all wished each other, you know, a good Yontif, which just means a good year in Hebrew. So it was very cool meeting him. He's actually a filmmaker, and you know, I come from a big line of artists and you know people in the film industry and the theater industry. So it was just nice, you know, meeting him. Now here's a very cool picture. So now when Senator Sinema, asked to meet me personally, the Dr. K, the CEO of the American Cancer Society, came along, and this is I believe it was Dr. Bill. I'm so sorry if I forgot your name, but this is the head science officer of the American Cancer Society. Fabulous. They're both so cool. I mean, and I'll go through, so I'll take you through the underground tunnel that Dr. Knudsen, she's the CEO of American Cancer Society, took us through. And then we got to even sit down after and talk. And it was just, it was, you know, it was a dream come true. It was just so incredible being there with so many people who are really there trying to create change and trying to find a cure for cancer. I mean, that's what this whole thing is about. You know, my personal experience is, you know, far down below everything else because getting the word out on cancer and trying to really, you know, move things towards a cure is huge. And that's what we're able to do. Oh, I skipped one. So here's me talking to Senator Sinema and Dr. K, Dr. Knudsen. I just tell my story, talking about the what we're looking to pass, and I will kind of go through that. So there was a few different things. Our first ask was to ask Congress to increase the funding to the highest possible increase level for cancer research and preventive programs. I mean, this is huge. Not only does this save money in the long run because it identifies, you know, early preventive screenings, it will identify cancer earlier, and then also cancer research is huge because one thing I was able to talk about, because the cancer research, you know, the funding that we do to NCI and NIH has been directly attributed to every major breakthrough in cancer research. And this last time in 2022, when I had, you know, glioblastoma and my stroke, they inserted something called gamma tiles in my brain, which I spoke about before on this channel. And that is like a wafer that they stick in your brain, and it does radiation while you're just going throughout your day. So before, in 2015, I had to go under this big machine, 5 times a week for 6 weeks. I lost all my hair. This new technology that is part of this funding that was pushed in through the NCI and NIH, the gamma tile radiation, is really one of the big things I could say is accrediting to saving my life this time because I'm cancer free. So, it's really remarkable. So the stuff I has seen tangible results, and I am a perfect example of how this funding has helped individuals with cancer because it has helped me. So that was our first ask, and then our second ask was well, we had two second asks, which was co-sponsoring bills. The first one was the Medicare Early Detection Screening Coverage Act. And I hope I got that right, but it's a mouthful. But yeah, Medicare Early Detection Screening Coverage Act. And what that basically is so there's a lot of different preventive screenings being in review right now for the FDA. All right. And they're showing clinical benefit. They're about to show clinical benefit, and the FDA will approve them. So what we were doing, we were there asking them to co-sponsor this bill that would create a pathway for these Medicare recipients to instantly be able to get these tests as soon as they're FDA approved and shown clinical benefit. So that's huge. So that was something we really pushed on. And then the second, and I mean that's big for me actually. One thing I spoke about was how important it was because my mom, was diagnosed 2 weeks before she died of stage 4 pancreatic cancer. If she could have had some preventive screenings earlier, who knows? I know pancreatic cancer is vicious and it, could come out of nowhere, but who knows? So that's one thing I really pushed about how that bill was really, personal to me. And the second bill we asked for was very personal to me too. And let me just go back and stop sharing real quick so you can look at me while I'm saying this, because the second one was called a PSA for HIMSS Act. It was a prostate screening act for insured men of high risk. So what this means is men who have insurance, who are at high risk for prostate cancer, like myself, because my dad he died from prostate cancer. What it does is it takes all the out-of-pocket costs for these PSA screenings. Now, a big thing with this is prostate cancer disproportionately affects the African American community, like a massive rate. I think it's like 50% more. So what we're doing is basically saying that you don't have to pay for these PSA screenings anymore. If you have insurance and you're at high risk, these are covered. And it's big because a lot of times these things could be $80, $100, and it could be the difference of putting food on your kid's table or getting this test. So this really, will open the gates for all these men who are insured to be covered for this PSA screening, because prostate cancer, I think, is now 95% beatable. So that's huge. It's one of the most beatable, I think it is the most beatable form of cancer now. So let's get this out there, let's prevent all these deaths. So yeah, so those bills are really something I was proud of. And so those were our legislative asks. And let me continue sharing my screen and keep going through some pictures. All right, so let's go here. So again, I explained what that one is. Now this is me in the underground tunnel. Mind you, just taking a little drink there. So this is super cool. Now, these tunnels connect the chambers of Congress. So from the Senate chambers to the House of Representatives, you go through these tunnels and it connects you right there. And if you look and you see this like rotunda here, this round circle, I don't know if you guys know like the Carousel of Progress in Disney World. It was a big ride, I think 1964, Walt Disney first premiered it at the World's Fair. And basically it shows families going through different generations just on like it looks like that, and it spins around, and basically, you're sitting there and you kind of spin around it. This actually, that wall spins very, very slowly, and on it is decorated with art from the different high school students. So, I mean, it was something really cool. And I would have never got to see this if it wasn't for, Dr. Dr. Knutson, and our chief science officer taking us through this. This was after I spoke to Senator Sinema. Now here is me with Representative Jim Clyburn. Representative Jim Clyburn, I'm a big fan of. I mean, again, another civil rights icon, so it was really cool meeting him. This is me and my team. There's a few of them. Had a wonderful time. So the Lights of Hope I will get into, but there's a beautiful ceremony at the end of I think it's the last day of lobby day. Well, the last evening of lobby day, and all these bags surround the National Mall that you design and put lights in them in commemoration. And this one is, in memory of my father. Uh, you see, I did like a little Academy Award in New York, a little decorate. I'm not the artist, but and then here's one from last year, which I think though actually who did this? Oh yeah, my fiance did this a few years ago, which is very cool too. So I just took pictures of some of these. Here's me in memory to my mother and my grandmother. So it's beautiful. It's all lined up on Capitol, on the National Mall. Now here's something that was awesome. So around the National Mall, there was these big monuments. Well, there were bags that were set up, but monument bags because they're not actually paper. And there's one for each state, excuse me, and they commemorate a cancer survivor from each state. And I was Arizona, and this was my bag on the National Mall, and it was really, beautiful. Actually, let me go back to that real quick. I'll show you another picture after, but there was a very beautiful moment that happened. I was there looking at my bag, looking at my family's bags, and then I just, my team was walking around, but I wanted to just walk around by myself, and just take like a moment to take in the atmosphere, just like there's bagpipes playing and think about my mother, my father, my grandmother, my family who didn't die of cancer, just everyone, my ancestors, and just my life and my son, and just what brought me there, and the people before me, and it was really just like kind of being like, wow, like this is really special. And yes, it's personal gratification to see it up there, but to see myself up there in the name of defeating such an ugly disease that has really taken, so many of my family from me, and me just doing everything I can to find that cure, uh, and advocating and using my tools and my story to promote change on the biggest stage that we know of, Congress. So now let me move on. So this was on the National Mall. Well, they had these big hope letters lit up, and this was like my team. We took a picture in it. I'm right there. It's not the greatest picture, but it's all right. Stand there like I don't know what I'm doing, but it's all right. So that was that. And now here we go. Here's a better picture. So this is what it looks like. All the bags are surrounding the National Mall, and with the Washington Monument right, in front. So that was super, super cool. Uh, so yeah, that was beautiful. And then this is me with the American Society sign. Took that picture on my last day before I was leaving. Okay, here's another one. And there's me standing in front of my bag. Now, a super funny story happened. When I first walked over with my team, my bag was the first one to be like when you first entered the National Mall, there's my bag. I was like, whoa. And there was these tourists, they were looking at it. And I don't know if I don't think they spoke English, but they were looking at, they were reading my story. And I'm standing right next to them, I kind of walk in front. And they're like, they look at me like I'm crazy. And the lady looks at the bag and looks at me, looks at the bag, and looks at me, oh, and then I was like, yeah, no, that's me. So it was just a little funny thing. But yeah, it was truly an honor to have that up there, and I said I did that walk around while the bagpipes playing. It was really, serene, and like I said, it's over some of calmness and accomplishment. Yeah, it's really nice. Here's me standing with Senator Cinema outside the steps of her office building. We want to do, she wanted to talk on the Capitol steps, which, was cool. It was a beautiful day out coming from, hot Arizona, being able to stand out in a nice cool breeze. I mean, when you were in the sun, it was still hot, don't get me wrong, but we were in the shade over here, so it was really nice. Here's me and Representative Tom Cole. I'm a big fan of Tom Cole. Really, he's a good bipartisan lawmaker. I think he'd be a fabulous Speaker of the House, honestly, because right now there is no Speaker of the House. So it seems like all of our legislation that we're working on is probably held up. Unfortunate, plus with a number of other things. There's been some horrible stuff going on in the world lately. But Tom Cole's a very nice guy. He gave an awesome speech at one of the mornings, conferences after our breakfast. Here's Jim Clyburn again. I hope I'm going the right way. Well, there's me and oh, I don't know if I'm going the right way because I think I already showed this. But yeah, so let's see. Okay, so this is funny. There's me and Andy Biggs. Now, Andy Biggs is from Arizona. Now, when I was first walking towards Andy Biggs' office, uh, I saw Andy Biggs and he like hightailed it past us. And I was like, oh, wait, that's Representative Biggs. And so he didn't show up to the meeting and it was his staff. And we went in there, he sat into his office and then a staff guy came out. And it was, honestly, it's a little like janky how that whole thing played out because he's like, all right, well, we don't have any room in here, so let's go into the hallway and tell me. So we're in the hallway and like leaning against and trying to tell him my cancer story, and it's like, I mean, they could have done better than that. It was just felt very weird. But I'm telling him the story, and of course he's like, well, the money situation, immediately, and I'm like, well, how much money are we spending in Ukraine? How much money are we spending in all these other things? And this is for cancer research, and this will save us money in the long run. And I use the example of, I'm sure when the guys owned the coal mines, he didn't want to have to buy everyone helmets, but when guys started getting plunked on the head and they weren't able to work and he was losing money, he said, well, let me make this investment. That's what I basically said. I said, make this investment into cancer research to prevent things before it happens. Now, and I handed it to him. And then, as luck would have it, at the end of the day, I'm riding down the elevator, and guess who's standing next to me? Yep, Representative Biggs. And of course, me, I started talking to him, and I was able to really, you kind of go through things there and talk more depth about it, and tell him my story the proper way, and tell him I left information with his aide. Unfortunately, he didn't co-sponsor it. It is what it is. I don't know why anyone wouldn't, because this is cancer and cancer has touched everyone's life. But he was still a very nice guy, very honored to meet him. And yeah, so that was that story, which was funny. But as luck would have it, I still got a hold of him. Now, here's another picture of me standing with Senator Sinema out in the office and online. And I think that's it. Okay, so I'm gonna stop share. So it was incredible. It really was incredible. And then my team, just enjoying with them. At the end of it, they were all like saying, "Oh, the celebrity, Danny," because the senators asked, meet me in closed door, which was really cool, and like have that private meeting. But yeah, it was everything I could have imagined, and being able to spend the time with the CEO of the American Cancer Society, Dr. Knudsen, was awesome, and being able to meet all these different lawmakers, and just being there to fight for cancer, fight for something good, not nothing partisan. Cancer is not partisan. I don't care what these, you can have your own beliefs on one side of the spectrum or the other, but this is all about cancer, and that's what I'm there for. I'm there to hopefully find a cure. I'm there to give people hope. I'm there to keep America as the greatest, innovator in the world. Because as I was telling some of the congressmen and the senators that, technology doubles every 18 months. It does. I forget what principle that's called, but if we don't continue our investment in cancer research, we will be left behind by places like China. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. And we want to keep that American excellence because it will save Americans money in the long run. If we can identify cancer before, there's no longer treating the symptoms and spending thousands and millions of dollars, trying to find new drugs to, help people suffering from leukemia, or the side effects from different other medicines like chemotherapies. It's it just makes sense, and it's the right thing to do. Honestly, it's the right thing to do. And something Tom Cole said, which Representative Cole said, which was great. He said, Democrats, you just go in there and you say, it's the right thing to do. Republicans, we're a little more cynical. You got to convince us it's a smart thing to do, which I love. Such a great line. And it's true, but it is a smart thing to do. Now, so DC was fabulous. It was incredible. And I did do a bunch of different media on it, after, and I'll show you a few. Let me share my screen again. Okay, and it's up here. I'm gonna go to, oh, let's see, hold on. Okay, so here is, oh, how can I, let's see. Okay, so this is uh, News for NBC. This was an article that was written about me, and I believe they have my video on here too. Oh, I think this is a link to my video as well. But oh no, this was Tucson. But I don't know. I forget. But yeah, so this was one of the articles that was written about me. I don't know why this screen thing's like right in the middle of my way. It's a little bit obnoxious. So let's see if I can do this. And then this was okay. Let's see if it goes. All right, come on, come on, come on, come on. This was a Daily Independent in Arizona, and of course, Mesa, brain cancer survivor, to meet with Arizona lawmakers in Washington. It was really, there was media all over the place. It was so cool being able to go in and talk to them and, really spread the word about what the American Cancer Society does. Because, this wouldn't happen without the American Cancer Society or the American Cancer Society Action Network. And they're just a fabulous organization. I'm so grateful to them for giving me that opportunity to really, speak on this platform and really share my story and spread my passion, and hopefully inspire others. And now here is something that I love. This is very special. So this is Jewish news. As you guys know, I'm very proud of being Jewish. I'm not the most religious person in the world, but I'm very proud of my heritage. I'm very proud of my tribe. I mean, I categorize myself as Jewish, probably before anything else. And this was very cool because not only was I in the new Jewish newspaper telling about my story, but my son got to share the title page with me. So it was very cool, and I like that. So yeah, I don't know if I'm forgetting anything. Let's see. I don't think I am, so I'm going to stop sharing here. All right, guys. Well, I hope me sharing and that it kind of was successful, because I was kind of stressing about how am I going to do this? How am I going to put this video well? And again, I know my last video was like a month ago, and I know I talked about my each news channel mentioned my YouTube link, and I'm sure a lot of you guys went on. You're like, well, he hasn't updated in a while. I've just been extremely busy, and like I said, so many things, and really just trying to, you know, unwind from everything and just kind of enjoy things for a little bit before having to, really dig into, all the rest of the world, because I'm feeling good. Things are getting better in my life, and I'm looking forward to a bright future. And so, guys, as always, please click that like button. Please click subscribe. That is huge. Share this video. Tell your friends. I hope you guys enjoyed me recounting my time in Congress. It was fabulous. And yeah, as always, guys, uh, please like, subscribe, and share once again, and keep up the fight. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye now.